Alright, hi YouTube. This is Tim. I promised someone that I would go ahead and demonstrate how I made the arrowhead for my Turkish style flight arrow. It's not an authentic Turkish arrow, but it's pretty good. It's the best I can do. Using material that's pretty close. The tip is completely inauthentic and the fletching is completely inauthentic, but everything else is about as close as I can get, and those two elements which are non-authentic are functionally equivalent. They do the same thing. They just protect the wood tip and guide the arrow. So I'm not going to call foul. It's still a fairly light arrow. It's not light enough, but it's as light as I was willing to make it, given the fact that I've never made an arrow this tiny and light and thin before. Now this one has the tip, which you can, let's see if it'll focus. There we go. You can see it. It's not super elegant and it's not perfectly aligned, but this is my first attempt to make one. And I think in the future I'm going to try it the way I'm going to show you right here and now. So, the first thing I did was I took some soft copper tubing. You can get this at the hardware store in the plumbing section. They sell them in big rolls, but I figure I'm using this a ½ inch at a time. This is going to last me an awful long time. Actually, less than that. So, let's go ahead and take ½ inch. We're going to take a ruler, measure it out. Oh, there's already a convenient little little mark about a ½ inch in. So this is great. All I'm going to do is take my tin snips at a ½ inch, and I'm going to snip. Little piece goes flying, and the tube remains. So you see, that's what I'm left with. And it's already vaguely arrowhead-like. Right now it's shaped kind of like a chiclet because on the one side it was cut off, and now on the other side it was cut off. What we're going to do is we're going to try and ram something in there to round it out and widen it up, which is just what I did the first time around. Although I didn't have to do it from a semi-flattened position. Now, this stuff is pretty sharp, so you might want to use gloves or just be really careful. What I did before was I shoved a screwdriver in, and that's how I torqued the screwdriver and got that to widen it just enough where I could slip it on and hot glue the tip on. As it is right now, I'd need to use some pliers to open it up. I don't have pliers at this time. I'm going to have to go buy some needle nose pliers, but you get the idea. You might even be able to do it with the wrong tool, but you might even be able to do it. If you force something in there, hold it and twist it, you'd be able to widen the mouth. That's the whole idea behind it. Once you widen the mouth, take one snip here, try not to make it go flying too far. There you go. See, now it's tapered towards the center. Do the same thing on the other side. Tapered towards the center. Be prepared to keep going and finding your little piece of copper arrowhead that you're making. But there it is. That's what I have right now. Come on, focus on me. So if you went ahead and you ground it down, you could fix the tape or make it more even. It's sharp. It's actually really devilishly sharp. But again, it's mostly just to protect the wood against impact from either the ground or, in my case, a cardboard box. So let me just give one more attempt to try and flatten out the head and see if I can, since this is soft copper tubing, it's fairly ductile. There you go. A few good hits with the edge of the tin snips. And while it's not round, it's getting much closer. So now, again, the same thing I did before was just stick in the screwdriver, which again is about the same size as the tip of the arrow. See what we're getting at? And then as I insert it, torque it off to the side to slightly widen it and open it and even it out. You can try and force it on there. you'll eventually get it to the point where you can slide it on farther. And it will take a little bit of forcing, and if you've already got the angle opened up a little bit by inserting something like this, it should just slip right on and force itself to open up even more, which is exactly what you want. Now I can give one more good try to try and open it up. Oh yeah, it's working. Just forcing in the screwdriver head. That does make it a little bit square because of the way it's shaped, the star shape, but that's okay. If you can get it to open up, you can slide it on, just put a dab of hot glue in and apply it like you would any other hot melt applied tip. So that's the basic technique of doing the tips. I don't have the right tools here, and I'm not really doing a very good job of demonstrating it, but I hope I explained it clearly enough so that you could do it. That eventually will be a tip. Just get some needle nose pliers, a hammer, preferably a small one, and a few other tools, and you should be able to go ahead and slip it right on.